12 days to go until Anthony Albanese meets with Donald Trump, and it's so far so good. It hasn't been cancelled. Joining me live is our political editor. I think we can call him Airbus Andrew, but he's in Canberra at the moment, so good to see you.
My goodness. My goodness, Laura Jays.
You do a fair bit of travel, Andrew.
That's a cheap shot.
Yeah, well.
You're not doing too bad yourself with your show out of DC. I'm jealous of that, Laura Jays.
No, I love it. I love it. Let's talk about this meeting because I think there's a lot at stake here, both domestically and getting that important relationship done. We haven't been treated that well by Trump and the White House. So what's at stake here, Andrew?
Well, what's the delay, But I think the Australians are feeling a lot more comfortable about things. They've got the meeting. They've got sort of assurances from Marco Rubio and others privately AUKUS is going ahead. But I just wanted to show this meeting with Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, overnight, because my thesis is Anthony Albanese won't be doing this. Mark Carney's second meeting there, you'll hear him here in the Oval Office in front of reporters suck up to Donald Trump. And it doesn't really work because Trump then goes on about the 51st state again. Having said that, the entirety of the meeting was jovial banter between the two. So kind of depends what mood Donald Trump's in. But what are his grievances with Australia at the moment? Well, we've got the lowest form of tariffs. AUKUS seems to be going okay. King Charles, I think, did us a favour on the Trump state visit mentioning AUKUS. I think they're not bad conditions, actually, for Albanese to finally have this meeting. We've been waiting so long. Some of us have been travelling so far for it to occur. But have a listen to this. I'm saying Anthony Albanese won't do this because he'll be worried about the domestic political audience and how they view it back home.
You kindly hosted me and some of my colleagues a few months ago, and I said at the time, you are a transformative president. And since then, the transformation in the economy, unprecedented commitments of NATO partners to defense spending, peace from India, Pakistan through to Azerbaijan, Armenia, disabling Iran as a force of terror, and now, and I'm running out of time, but this is in many respects the most important.
The merger of Canada and the United States.
That wasn't where I was going.
I'm surprised he didn't say he should get the Nobel Peace Prize, Laura, judging by your transformative president and all that. Albanese won't be doing that, I don't think.
No, because he's got his domestic audience and, poll after poll shows that Australians aren't that enamoured with America.
No.
I find it really interesting as well because we've been talking about for months, Andrew, the relationship and the brinkmanship that Trump has levelled or used against Canada. You had the digital services tax, remember, that Canada was going ahead with, and then Trump threatened, I think, 50% tariffs. Mark Carney, he dropped all negotiations. And Mark Carney dropped it the next day. And then a week later, Trump had it back on. Canada recognising Palestine. Trump used Truth Social to also link the tariffs to that decision by Canada. So he's really played hardball with them. And there's this Canada being another American state. He really loves that. He really loves to dangle it over the Canadians. And, he's kind of half serious, half joking, but I think the Canadians are actually terrified by that. I think Anthony Albanese would be going in, and Mark Carney, former banker, don't forget, so, he's economically minded, he's respected in that silo, absolutely, but he's of the left. Donald Trump going in, is he going to use those same things against us? I mean, we don't have a digital services tax, but we do have other things that the tech bros that are in his ear absolutely don't like, and we recognise Palestine.
He'll have a go on the defence spending maybe and Palestine. They're probably the two problem areas. But we have the lowest tariff. I don't think he's going to announce at the meeting he's going to whack another tariff on, but defence spending, and what are we bringing to the table too? A critical minerals deal perhaps? To help with their munitions building and so forth. Maybe Anthony Albanese announces more defence spending. That's the one, now that you mention it. That's the point of contention. That's the point of difference. We say, well, look, we spend about 2.8 if you measure it the way they measure it. They want 3.5 of GDP. Where does that land? So that's the interesting one, isn't it? Palestine, well...
Sure is.
Donald Trump reckons, you guys recognised him. I don't agree with that. I'm trying to solve it anyway. So that debate's kind of moved on, but defence spending hasn't.
No, it hasn't. Anthony Albanese's got to remind Trump of geographic and strategic benefit there when it comes to China. I just had some news, Justine, Andrew, you wouldn't have seen this yet. Optus sent an email notifying government of the outage to the wrong address. That's just come through.
Oh, wow.
That breaking news there. So where does this go?
Well, that helps Anika Wells, who didn't do so well in question time yesterday, but that helps her because her narrative is to completely blame Optus. And she was asked about when she first knew, and she said the 19th of September, the Friday when it happened, the 18th. And that appears to be evidence of it. Now, has the government produced that in their defence, or how's that come up? Is that out of estimates, or is this out of Optus, Laura?
I think that's
Does that come from the government or Optus?
This is out of... I don't know, to be honest. It's just come through here. Sorry, putting me on the spot there. That's my job, Andrew. No, I think it might be...
Well, the studio director could tell us, perhaps, or someone, producer.
I think we're
Jack.
it might be out of estimates, but basically officials from the department, it's come out of estimates because it says officials from the department said Optus sent an initial email alerting them of an outage at 2:45 p.m. on September 18, which was followed by another email 7 minutes later saying it had been resolved. The department was not aware of the outage because the inbox that the emails were sent to was no longer in use. Communications and Media Deputy Secretary Jamie Chisholm said. No one in the department saw the initial two emails from Optus on September 18. It goes on and on. But, I mean, the question here is, Andrew, why are they sending emails anyway? And then they don't get a response.
Pick up the phone. You're a phone.
Exactly.
You're a phone company. Pick up the phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no, it's not funny, actually, is it? Because we're talking about people's lives, but... it's an extraordinary stuff up by Optus, and obviously they've saved this one up. Anika Wells probably was aware of this yesterday when she was answering questions in question time. She knew it would emerge because their strategy from Tim Ayres on Sunday on and Anika Wells yesterday blamed the telco. Well, that seems possible out of this. I've actually got something I wanted to show you out of question time because I didn't like this answer from the Communications Minister here. She said there was no silver bullet when it comes to corporate failures, which I find an extraordinary line because what else is regulation for? And we've got heavy regulation on the telcos here in Australia. We've got so much legislation and regulation on a lot of things. Anika Wells almost throwing her hands up in the air here. Have a listen.
Exactly how many deaths is the Minister aware of, and has the Minister personally phoned each family to apologise for the Albanese Labor government's inaction?
For us here, there is no silver bullet when it comes to corporate failures. So, have I spoken with the families? I have spoken with Optus, the company who has failed Australians and these families here. The CEO of Optus has apologised to the families for the failures of Optus and the catastrophic impact that has had on their families, as has the CEO of Singtel, the parent company of Optus. I think we can all agree it is right and appropriate for these companies to apologise because they are the cause of these catastrophic failures.
Yeah. So a big revelation in estimates, as you said, Laura. No doubt you'll be getting, our reporters will be reporting on that throughout the day now. A massive stuff up by Optus here, if what officials say is correct, and they appear to have evidence that the government was not informed for more than 24 hours because they didn't ring the government. They sent information on the outage of 000 through an email address which was incorrect. Unbelievable for a company whose main game is communications.